Good evening, everybody. Billy O here with another episode of Huns History. Joining us from the future, it's tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. in New Zealand, is Huns legend Lomani Tongotongo. Lomani, hey man, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Are you keeping safe down there? Everything fine?
Yeah, we'll keep you safe down here. We're still on lockdown. We'll find out today if it gets lifted on Wednesday or not.
So maybe you guys can start rugby activities soon.
Not unless it goes to level 0. I've had a talk with some of the coaches from Auckland Rugby, and they pretty much said if it's not level 0, we can't start our season.
Well, we're all in the same boat. Everybody's going crazy over here doing nothing. So
Yeah.
I think we're all ready for rugby to start again. Lomani, this is Huns history, and we've gone way back. We interviewed Dallin the other day, so we've gone a little bit back. You're fairly recent, but you were captain of the Huns during a great season. And when did you start in the Huns?
I started in the Huns 2016.
So you played for us for 3 years, 7s and 15s.
Yes.
We've talked about this before, but for the benefit of the Huns history segment, you've played all over the world at the highest levels. You played for the Auckland Blues. You've played everywhere, but the Huns are really special in your heart. What do you think makes the club, the Huns, a really special group?
I never quite played for the Auckland Blues, but I'm a huge fan and huge supporter.
I thought you rostered with the Blues.
No, not that good.
Well, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. But you've played all over the world. Why are the Huns special?
The Huns are special because it's the culture that they've got and they've had for multiple years now. That was the first thing I fell in love with in the Huns, was the culture and the players. They treat you like a brother from the first day you step onto the paddock at Nixon Lane. You're not a stranger. So that was real. That was real welcoming when I first came to a Huns training. Everyone treated me like they've known me for years. Made things easier. Made the transition from playing in New Zealand to playing in America much easier. Didn't make me feel homesick as much.
Well, the Huns have always emphasized brotherhood and the after practice and after game social. So that's really good to hear.
Yeah.
Fast forward to 2017, we had a lot of good Huns, core Huns on that team that contributed. In the final, Brian Wellborn, Fitzy, and then in the back line, Giovanni Bonilla, all were core Huns. And then a lot of other guys rounded out at the roster. I'm looking at your signed jersey up on my wall. I mean, LeMasters, Andrew Heller, Biff, Zappa. I know I'm missing some guys. Craig Wellborn, of course, played.
Huey.
There were a lot of Huns, core Huns on that team. Now, granted, they brought in some outside guys, but that was a pretty good team, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a real good team. Good talent across the board. We had really good depth, and the players we brought in were just key positions that we were missing.
Well, what was your favorite regular season game? We'll talk about the final in a second, but what was your favorite regular season game that year?
It would have been the game against Belmont Shore, the semi-final, or the final for the Western Conference or something. But that would have been the best game. I didn't play a full game there. I think I played 60 minutes. But that game showcased what the Huns could do if everyone followed the game plan.
Well,
and we beat them by a comfortable score.
you guys beat the Blacks twice that year. You beat the Reds twice that year.
Oh yes, and
And
can't forget the
then
Blacks. That's up there as well.
and then
The kick from Timothy Geeman from the sideline to win it in the second game, definitely
at their
up there.
place.
Yep.
At their place, in the mud, in the wind, with injuries, coming from behind. That was a great game.
Yep. That showed Huns grit.
Well, you know, the playoff run on the semifinals, in 2 days, you played San Francisco Golden Gate on Saturday and then Belmont Shore on Sunday. You beat Ombak at the beginning of the season, so you beat all of California. And then a couple weeks later, you turned around and beat a really strong New York Athletic Club team. There were probably 8 to 10 Eagles on the field in total that day, and that final game up in Denver was epic. What was it like to play in that game?
Oh, it was real special playing in that game. Just because of the type of caliber of players that we had on the Huns, and also we were playing against in Nyack. Real good challenge, and it was real good standard level of rugby that was played in the final. Real tough game. But yeah, just playing with the Huns boys really made it special. And of course, the win was the cherry on top.
You know, that was another come from behind victory. And if I remember correctly, C.J. DeWitt made a cameo appearance at the end of the game out on the wing and made a contribution. You know, he stuck with the Huns this last year and was our first division captain.
Yeah, I saw that, and it was good to see his name on the Huns list, because I try to keep up to date with the Huns while I'm still here in New Zealand. Yeah, and it was good to see CJ. When he came on, he gave us an extra spark. He came up with 2 big tackles, which was the one when Timothy Geeman did the cross kick and he held the winger up, and we were able to push him out to get the line out. We got the break, and then we scored for the winning try. And then straight after that, he chased by himself a kick, and he was able to tackle the guy. So that was 2 huge tackles that CJ did for us when he came on. Big impact.
Well, I was in the stands that day with a bunch of my friends that I played with in the 70s and the 80s. And, you know, we dropped down to Division II when I was playing, and the Huns only made it back up to Division I thanks to Wheezy, Adam, and Hansel, and a bunch of other guys working really hard probably 12, 15 years ago. And so, you know, for us to run the table in league and beat the Blacks and to, you know, beat all these teams that are legendary, really meant a lot to the old boys and to the club. You know, to have that trophy is just an amazing thing. And you were captain of all that, captain of Huns captains. That was really something special.
Yeah, it was fun being a captain that season. But it was real easy as well. Just having the type of players that I had around me and all the knowledge. I mean, Todd Clever was there for a couple of games, and he was there for the final too. So, you know, having those old heads come in, and it kind of makes your job easier as a captain, because you don't have to worry about certain players as much. You don't have to feel like you have to control every aspect of the game just because you're captain. You can kind of let the players do what they do best, and I think it helped out a lot this year. I mean, that year in 2017, it certainly made my job real easy.
Well, anything else you want to say to the boys? We all miss you a lot, man. Love to see you back here someday if the U.S. government ever gets you off their prohibited list.
Yeah, man, I'll just keep moving forward. I wish I was there. You guys certainly started off good this season. I was hoping that the season would have stopped. But yeah, I miss you guys, and hopefully I see you guys in the near future.
Well, good luck to you, Lomani. It's great seeing your face and hearing your voice, and I think the guys are going to all be glad to to click on this video and catch up with you a little bit. Stay safe, okay?
You too. Stay safe, Bill.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.